everybody, Karina here. I have Mandy with us. We're going to be talking about half pigeon today. We're going to break down the shape. We're going to talk about how we can use props to support our body in it, and a couple of different options and also some misconceptions that you might find in this shape. So Mandy is going to come to either downward facing dog or a tabletop. I think she's pretty used to her downward facing dog to move into this shape. She'll pull her left leg, which is the one closest to you guys, up about halfway through her mat, and her knee will land somewhere near her left wrist. Her left foot is going to slide up in front of her right leg. So I'm standing, I'm kind of showing you what this would look like here. And then she'll lower her pelvic floor down towards the mat. Her back leg might slide back a little bit. Awesome. Then she'll start to lower down to maybe forearms or lower her chest all the way down onto the ground, whatever is comfortable. She will point her back toes so the top of her foot lands flat. Beautiful. So this is half pigeon without any props. Most of us could really benefit from the use of props here. I'm gonna gently offer her some props that may feel really supportive for her shape. So we see a little bit of space between her booty and the mat. Ideally, we want support in that space. So we can place 1 or 2 blocks here and kind of inch them under the booty, and then she can rest on them. That is still going to provide a stretch through the back of her left glute, maybe even up into her low back, and also possibly down into the IT band on her left leg. However, it's giving her some support, so it's gonna feel really good. We tend to sit in this shape for longer periods of time than going through it with a 1 breath per movement or a vinyasa flow. Another option that she has is if her forehead doesn't hit the mat, or if her arms aren't comfortably down on the mat, she could either place a block on any height under her forehead or chest, or she could bring a bolster and place that kind of all the way down. She can even bring it like under her chest to her belly if she wants it, if she needs that extra support there. Or she can just simply place her head on it. Beautiful. So go ahead and lift up for me again, Mandy. We can kind of slide these blocks out. Awesome. So a couple of other things that you can do. She could take this bolster and lay it east to west on her mat and come back into down dog over top of the bolster. I didn't prep her for this, so that's why she's like, what are we doing? She'll again step her, let's do her right leg forward. We want to make sure she's even here, and bring it all the way up over top of this bolster. Yeah, okay. She'll drop her knee down and again find this shape, but this time she's gonna land her back thigh on that bolster and maybe even her right booty in this instance, so her other booty can rest on it. Yes. Then from here, she's further away from the mat with her chest, so she might find that like some blocks here built up into maybe like a structure of some sort to lower her head on, or she might stay lifted up tall. There's nothing that says in this shape you have to lower your chest towards the mat. How does that feel? Better this way, yeah. So that's why we kind of try on different things, because everybody's different and some support is going to feel different for different people and feel better. Beautiful. All right, go ahead and come up. One other thing that I wanted to mention, and I'm actually going to drop into it because with her black pants it's going to be hard to kind of see this. I'm going to turn our mat here. Okay, so some misconceptions about this shape are, we will sometimes hear that our knee comes behind the one wrist and our ankle should scooch up behind the other wrist so that our shin is parallel to the front of our mat. This is not super accessible in most bodies. So it is totally acceptable to bring this foot back in front of your other leg. This actually feels a lot better for most of us. Some points that we want to make sure are lined up in this shape is that our front thigh is parallel to the long edge of our mat, that our back leg, which I'm not sure if you can see from this angle, but it is also parallel to the long edge of our mat. The last thing that we want to look at, and this can be a little bit more difficult to look at on yourself, so this is where it's great to either take a video, have a friend snap a photo of you, or ask a professional yoga teacher to take a look at your body in half pigeon. It's really common for us to drop the front booty down, to roll to that side, to open the other front of the hip, and even to like open the knee to the side, okay? What we want is our back leg, we want that like flat, pointing down towards the mat. That's going to start to roll us to face forward, pulling our back hip forward. This may cause a little lift underneath of our front booty. That's totally fine. We just slide a prop under there to hold us up. Another thing we might be doing is reaching our front hip way forward, reaching the left hip far back. So if we take our hands to the outsides of our hips and we look and see if our hands are parallel to the side walls or the long edges of our mat, we'll be able to really easily tell if we're not. And so by pulling this back leg a little bit forward, pulling our right butt cheek back a little bit, now you can see my hands on the sides of my hips are parallel to the sides of my mat. And I would benefit from having a block underneath of my right booty. That is all that we're going to discuss with half pigeon today. Thanks for joining.